daytime running light, high beam, low beam. Alright, this video today, we have a Massimo T-Boss 550 2024 model. When you buy it, it comes with a 3-position headlight switch, but they only have the high beam and the daytime running lights active. The headlamp itself actually has a low beam circuit. So, and this switch is already pre-wired for the low beam to a connector that sits under the hood up here. I'll show you where that's at under the hood. I'll show you what relay you need. You need one relay. You need 2 terminal connectors. You need some kind of butt splices or wire nuts or something to join wires together with, and you're going to need some wire. I used 16 gauge wire. I'll provide you a link to everything I used that you can get through Amazon, or you can buy all the same things from your local auto parts store. Right now we have daytime running lights on. That's the high beams that it ships with, and then that's the low beam. This is the relay that you need. This is iRhapsody. This was purchased off Amazon. There'll be a link below to it. But if you want to substitute something else, here's the layout of it. And that's as you look at it at the bottom. And here's what the bottom looks like. You see you got a larger space opening on the top, smaller notch on the bottom, 4-pin relay, 16 gauge white wire to keep the color coding correct on the headlights. So I'll run that from here where I'm cutting this. You see I got the relay. So I'm going to cut these 2 wires coming on the output side here, going to the headlights, or actually to these connectors. I'm going to cut both of those. I'll splice them in. I'll take one to one side, one run it to the other individually. I got that at Advance Auto, and I ended up getting this at O'Reilly because Advance didn't have anything like this. And I ordered some from Amazon that I'm likely just going to return unless I screw this up somehow. But this is the same connector that would connect onto the back of the headlamp. But all I need is 2 of these terminals out of here. So this is the connector, and it was already in here in this area. I don't recall exactly where or how it looked. I didn't get a video or picture, but it's somewhere located in this area already. You may have to go underneath to get to find it, but this is what it looks like. This is have a red wire with a white stripe. You'll have just above that at this pin you'll have 2 white wires, and there is a green wire which is always ground, it seems, on this machine, and then you have your single white wire, which is the trigger wire for the relay. So what happens is you have constant power here, and that's going to be fed when it switches to the outgoing contact, which feeds these 2 wires right here, these 2 white wires, and that's what you're going to be splicing into. Those ultimately go over here to, there's a connector on each side that looks like this. You can see it from under the wheel well. It's right here if you look at it from underneath. If you want to try to find a mate to that connector and use it, then that'd be even better. What I did was I just spliced into these wires right here. I used male and female spade style stake-ons terminal connectors so that I can disconnect it from the relay if I ever need to. I took a butt splice and spliced it onto the 2 wires that run out to those connectors, and I labeled that accordingly so that myself or someone in the future will know what those wires were for. So obviously the plug fits right into this relay. Now it's a snug fit, very snug fit actually. I already had this done, and when I was trying to disconnect it I barely could. So a very snug fit into that relay, but that's good. So I ran the left front, the driver's side comes out this way down through here. You see it running along with that loom there. Kind of follows everything around on the frame as far as I could get. I tried to keep it out of the way as possible. It follows that. Comes in and drops down here. What you're going to do here, so we just pull this loose, try to pull it back, and then there's your connector right there. You just pull off, and there's no lock on it. So the way this is when you get it is this connector will not have that top one in place. It'll be vacant right there on the top. All right, so that's where your low beam connection is. This top terminal up here, that's your low beam connection. So I went to an auto parts store and I bought one of these connectors. It was $5 or $6, and it comes, with a pigtail on it. And then I just popped it out of that connector that I bought and popped it right into this one. Connected the wire. That's this black wire coming out. It's got a little bit of white tape on it, because that's why it comes in the pigtail. It comes black. But then I spliced it together and taped it all up, at the end of the black wire there. So simple as that. Once you pop that terminal in there and do your wiring, and then that just plugs right back in. So the right front low beam wire I ran through there and back into this area back here. Ran it down behind there with other wiring and along that top bar. I think you can see it through there. It's right there through that hole. And then down along there, I reorganized these looms and stuff in here because I didn't like the way they were sitting. But you can see here's your other connector if you were looking for it. Now, it might have been in another place. Like I said, I kind of reorganized this stuff while I was under there. But anyway, so you see my white wire kind of follows the same path as the other one. Comes up and over and then down and into here. Same setup on this side. So I'm just going to pop this out and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so if you look in here, there's always going to be a little tab that either sticks up or down when you're looking at a connector like this. So if you look at this sitting in here, it'll be sitting like that. And you see you got this tiny little tab right here. And that's what you're pushing down. You're just coming in from the front and pushing down on that and then pulling the wire out. But there we go. Now, sometimes it helps too to any slop that might be in this, push it toward this side and then try to kind of hold it there, and then take this and come in and push. There it goes. I had to pry kind of hard on it and pull on this at the same time. You don't want to pull too hard though, because then you're potentially digging this into the plastic. These are a 5/16 connector, whereas the standard size is 1/4 inch. And 1/4 inch, see, there you go. See the difference? It's a 1/16 of an inch. So you could take something and pry these out further, and you could get by with that if you absolutely had to. Pry them out, roll them out a little bit, get them so that they fit on there, and then squeeze them tight again. But eventually you're likely to have problems with it coming loose down the road. So this is what I got instead. So there we go. So now I'm going to take this and put it in the other one. The back here, you just got to either just cut the very end of this little piece right here out, or slice it open, or whatever, be able to get the wire through there. Now we can see in here which side the tab's got to go toward the bottom from the way I'm holding it right now. This little tab here. And what I want to do too, before I feed it through there, is I want to bend that little tab out a little further, just to make sure that it sticks into place good. So I just pushed the black wire through the hole in the back, and made sure I got the orientation correct here. You want the tab going into the slotted area. So then we're just going to push that right through there, right through the back. Simple as that. And you hear it click, and look at that. Perfect. We have looks exactly the same as the originals. So just it's gonna be the same thing on both sides. The routing of this will be a little bit different on the other side. But that went on fine up there. Everything feels like it's okay as far as the wires. As far as these wires, they seem like they're not stressed or anything. This one I just went ahead and put a piece of white tape on here, and like I said, we'll solder it and run it in, and yeah, that's it. The other side will be the same way. So that's a nice clean way to go ahead and get yourself a low beam integrated without adding a whole nother set of lights. Alright, so what I did is I went ahead and put tape here and taped over the end where this was all taped, where these wires came out. And then everywhere that I'm putting tape, I'm adding a tie wrap to keep the wire in place and to also help keep the tape from starting to unravel at any point in the future. So here's where the splice ended up being. I'm going to go ahead and secure all this back up and out of the way. Daytime running light, high beam, low beam.